Hey, look at that. We are live. Welcome, my friend. It's Kevin Connect live from Sarasota, Florida. I want to welcome you to this very special hangout today. I've got a great group of entrepreneurs, successful people worldwide that I am proud to work with on a daily basis. And I want to bring them out here and welcome them to the broadcast as well. So before we get too far down the path, welcome. Pull up a favorite beverage of yours. Maybe grab a pen and paper. And if you're on Facebook right now, as you're watching live, go ahead and use the link that you came to this hangout with. And if you're an affiliate, you can go ahead and share this link. There's a link right there at the top of the page, and you can go ahead and share your link, and then put your affiliate ID on the top. So go ahead and do that as we introduce ourselves, and that way you can have more of your people join on the broadcast today as well. So let me turn it over to Erica Udanu. Erica, come on out and say hi.
Hey everyone, and Happy New Year! My God, I'm so excited. It's the first team call of the entire year, and it is going to be such a huge one. We wanted to make sure that tonight was, I should say today where you guys are, but tonight where I am was really, really special, and we just literally wanted to start your year off with a bang. So thank you so much for joining us, and Kevin, thank you so much for having us here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for that picture of me on Facebook today. I didn't know you were taking a picture of me, so I appreciate that. That's awesome. And over to our great friends in Puerto Rico, Jaime and Loida. Hey, great to have you guys here. Come on out, you two.
Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Thank you for inviting us. We're so excited to be here. And yeah, this is going to be a big, big year. And for all of us, we are so glad to be here. So excited.
Hi to everyone.
Great to have you guys here.
Thank
now,
you.
I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to get started here. There's a chat somewhere in the, I don't have the chat box open, so Erica, I think, and Alex are going to be monitoring that. And my beautiful bride, Melissa, says hello. She is not feeling the best today, and Olivia just came home from work. It's lunchtime. The ladies are chit-chatting downstairs and all of that, so she sends her love. She will be with us on the next broadcast. And I want to welcome you guys and really invite you to take a breath and realize that we are all here in the year 2016. By the way, our very special guest, David Wood, the founder of Empower Network, the company that has really done well for Melissa and myself, for Erica and her husband Alex, and for Jaime and Loida. We're going to talk about our stories here in just a second, but I want to let you guys know that today can be a turning point for you. As you're watching this broadcast, you're going to discover ordinary people choosing to have an extraordinary life. Everybody that you're going to hear from on this panel today was struggling at one point in the not-so-distant past or in the distant past, and they were on a broadcast just like this and realizing that, something's got to give. Or maybe you've had this feeling that it can only get better, it can't get any worse, which, by the way, you should never say. You should always be in the process of making things better, and even if something horrific happens, there's always this silver lining, whatever. But on today's broadcast, we're specifically going to focus on your 2016, putting your action plan in place, surrounding yourself with leaders who are having the results that you're looking to have, so that way you too can thrive. And as the title of the broadcast is all about, creating a generation of heroes. Now, a hero in my mind is somebody who takes personal responsibility and lets everything to the left and everything to the right go away and focus on moving forward fast so you can have your outcome. Maybe you're somebody that lives in a place you don't like right now. Maybe you have a job or a boss or a spouse or whatever that is just not ideal. But you found a group of people who are living that ideal lifestyle. And you think, wait a minute, what about me? And you take that imperfect action to move forward right now, and then you get started. And on the way, you hit every bump in the road. You do everything wrong, but you keep persisting without exception. And on the way, you discover that there are people just like you who have royally screwed up even worse than you, and you never even thought you could mess up that way. And along the way you realize that, hey, I don't have it so bad. Life is pretty good, and what the heck, now I'm with a whole bunch of great people. And just to share with you my brief story, my wife Melissa and I have been in this profession of network marketing, working from home online. We're starting our 19th year together. Melissa and I, we met in December 1997, and we just decided to work from home because Melissa was already at the time working from home, making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, which I thought was pretty cool because I was making about $300 a month in my business. So I just decided to plug into the system that she was using, and we've been able to work from home and help a lot of people, free a lot of families along the way. And what you're going to discover on this broadcast today is that you can be one of those families as well. If you're just joining us for the first time as a guest, now those of you on the team already know that this can be your year. This can be your year. I want to turn it over now to somebody that I partner with on a weekly basis. We have these private hangouts where we just talk and we collaborate, and and we learn a lot from each other. And I would recommend one thing that you do over the next 30 days is to discover an accountability partner in your life, somebody who can call you out on the things that you say you're going to do and hold you accountable and remind you of how great you are. Sometimes you may forget how great you really are, and if you have that person, you know, you're really blessed. You know, and I have two of them. I have my beautiful bride, Melissa. You know, we collaborate, of course, daily. We're working from home together, and we've made a lot of money working from home over the years, and we've lost some money along the way by doing some of the wrong things. But now, in the last 3.5 years, with Empower Network, we're just about to hit $700,000 in net income, in gross income, not net income, gross income, not typical results. See your average earnings disclosure at the bottom of the page, empowernetwork.com/income. And right now, what I'd like to do is turn it over to my accountability partner for the last 1.5 years. I don't know how long we've been talking, but pretty much Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. my time, we get on the Skype and we have some fun along the way. And I can't wait to hear her story again because I haven't heard it in a while, even though I know her. You'll love her story. She's awesome. Erica Udanu. Erica, come on out here, my friend.
Oh, no, what a lovely welcome. And I must say, it is an absolute pleasure to hang out with you every Tuesday. You know, I did post something funny on Facebook today, and that was, you know, today's accountability chat had Sashi in it. Sashi was sitting there on your lap, you know, looking like a little Yoda dog, and she was just so cute. And that's what I love about the home-based business industry is that we just play by our own rules. You know, we do it our way. And I love that, and that's why I posted that today, because for two reasons. A, get an accountability partner, someone who will hold you accountable for what it is that you say you want in business and who really will call you out on your stuff. You know, it's really, really important. And it is really important that, you know, someone is there like in your corner cheering you on. And Kevin, I'm just really thrilled that you have me in your corner and you like that. And thank you very much, because it is a beautiful relationship. And I know that it's something I look forward to every week, because it does always hold you to a higher standard, you know. It's important. It's really, really important, because sometimes in this industry we can feel very alone. You know, we can feel like we're building this by ourselves. No one understands us. You know, sometimes you might be having a crappy day, and then you get on a weekly call and it's like, man, things are awesome again. It's like a weekly rally call, and so I appreciate all the time that we've spent together. And on that note, I just want to share, you know, quickly how we met, and that was at an event. And I want to take it back just a few years so you guys kind of get the full picture here of what's really, really possible when you truly plug into systems that work, specifically the 8 core commitments. So long story really short, and, you know, most of you probably heard my story, but I'll give you a nice quick overview of it. Alex and I, my husband, were working on cruise ships. We had an awesome life. I'd been doing it for about 11 years, my husband for about 5 or 6 years, and when we hit the financial crash of 2008, well, things weren't very pretty anymore. Things actually got quite disgusting. And we tried to hold on to our careers for 3 years, but by 2000, because we're not quitters, by any stretch, we'll try and make anything work, right? And by 2011, I mean, the writing was literally on the wall. And if you've heard me tell the story before, you know what my breaking point was, and it was the moment we opened up this commission check for $9.38. Now, that was for a week's work that had to be divided in two, that worked out to 17 cents an hour was our net worth that week. 17 cents an hour. So everyone has their breaking point. Everyone has that moment where they're like, enough's enough. I'm done. I'm out of here. And, you know, I always remember that moment, looking at the check and looking at my husband, knowing that we're worth so much more than that, but not really knowing how we could turn things around in what we were doing. So I reached out across the out auction desk. I put my hand on the top of my husband's hand, and I said, honey, if we work as hard in our own business as we do this job, we would have to be successful. And literally, we quit. We went home, and, you know, we jumped into something that didn't work. You know, a lot of us, you know, we you know, we kind of try stuff out, right? And the first thing we tried was this little MLM thing for like 30 seconds. It was just horrific. It was just the worst nightmare ever. And I won't, you know, dive deep into that because it's just so horrible. And in all reality, we probably lasted about 90 days with that. And what happened was we worked out that we couldn't do the offline thing. So we started going online looking for leads for our offline thing. And one thing led to another, and that's how we ended up actually in Empower Network the very week that it started. We joined the very week that Empower Network started, way back in 2011. And what's funny is we didn't have the best start, you know, didn't have a lot of mentorship, didn't have a lot of support, felt completely lost, you know, very alone. We were building it down in New Zealand, you know, like on the bottom of the planet. And there was an event coming up in June of 2012. And I did not want to go. I did not want to go so bad that I tricked my brain into believing that the event had already passed. I didn't want to go so bad. I didn't want to, travel, on 4 planes. I didn't want to go to the other side of the world by myself. I didn't want to pay for everything. I didn't want to spend all that time away from home. Like, yada, 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 yada. I made all these excuses. And long story short, I got 2 emails, and both emails said that getting to their first event had changed the entire course of their life. I looked in my back office. I realized that my event was next week, and that was it. I got my wallet. I pulled out my credit card. I booked my flights. Of course, I got my event ticket first, and I was off. And literally, I cut this video, and this is kind of the beginning of our story here with Empower. I cut this video on the beach, and I was really fired up. I was really, really super fired up. And by the time I got to Atlanta, we'd signed up 17 people in the space of leaving where we were to where we were going. And on that note, Kevin, I'll hand it back to you. We have a guest.
I have to unmute myself. All right, awesome. Hey, real quick, I want to introduce our other main speaker that we have on the panel who hasn't spoken yet. Then we're going to get to our fabulous speaker here. I want to bring out real quickly this couple, Jaime and Loida. I met them. I met them at a small mastermind. We were at an event in Nashville, Tennessee, less than a year ago. And I'm so impressed when people come on the scene here. They have a result. They put all the pieces together, and they actually follow directions. And even though the average incomes aren't that way, when you have extraordinary work ethic and you actually get the things done, you have amazing things happen. So real quick, Jaime, Loida, over to you down in Puerto Rico. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for inviting us. Loida just went to get something because she's feeling cold. It's super cold here. And
it's cold in Puerto Rico?
Not actually Puerto Rico. It's like summer the whole year, but in this room we have the air conditioner like super low, so it's pretty cold.
Oh, I see. Got it.
She went to get a sweater or something. Anyway, let me introduce myself. I'm Jamie Diaz. I'm from Chile, actually. I live in Puerto Rico. My wife is from here. She's right there. And yeah, we start with this business, and today it's been a year.
Oh, it has. Yes.
The magic of the numbers. So that was on January 5th of 2015, just a year ago. And it was funny because I was looking all over internet how to get results, how to start a business, how to get my wife out of her job. Even if it was a pretty good job, she's a pharmacist. They make good money, but they have no life. They work a lot. So I wanna give her a better life. She's my wife. And I went to an event, and the event was in Las Vegas, in the end of January, a year ago. And I didn't know what I was going to. I say, I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going to make this happen. And I just stand in front of everyone and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And then I start building a community, a vision. And right now, I'm on top of a big Spanish community, big Latino community. We just launched our own system just to help people to get more knowledge, to get into Empower Network, to help all the Latino community. So we are so proud of this. And yeah, I'm so proud of Loida. She quit her job. She was the first person that I set free because of this system. So we are so happy, like we can be more happy.
Yeah, and the important thing is he made me free before I left my job because I was listening to his videos every day. And in person, I see him making the videos and talking about freedom and how to be yourself and all that stuff. And I was free before I left my job because of that. A lot of people think that pharmacists, we have a great job and we are doing like, woohoo, you are just counting pills and you are just relaxed back there. But it's not. There's a lot of stress, a lot of pain. And we just want to be with our families. And we don't want to be there on Christmas Eve New Year's Eve, on all that special days. We want to be close to our families. And I'm so happy now that I can work from my home and I can earn more from this system than that I do in my old job in the pharmacy. And and it's so. We met Kevin in Nashville. Was so we met in his suite, and there was a group of people that was so nice when my first event. That was for me my first event. I met Dave Wood too in Charlotte Airport, and it was so nice. It was my first event, and I was like, I don't know anything about this. I'm just a newbie, and I want to learn. And I was so happy to be around people that help me and keep pumping me up every time to be my best. And now I can pump everyone, every people to do the same thing, because if I can do it, someone that wasn't the computer thing, or I don't know anything about computers or internet marketing or anything like that, if I can do it, if I can learn, everyone can do it. It's something that anyone can do it.
Yeah, that's true. And just to end it up real quick, and we're so glad. Like in the first event, I can't believe that right now I'm in this hangout with Deadwood, and like a year ago, I see this guy on the stage, and I see, wow, and what is this about this whole community and people from all over the world and working from home, making money, making dreams come true. And right now I'm in a hangout, so you can see how the life can change in just a year if you keep working, if you make a commitment, and if you have a vision. So yeah, thank you guys for having me here.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And you guys are living exactly what the next guy I'm about to introduce promised to Melissa and I when we first joined back in March of 2012. This was a place where people could come in, no matter what their background. If they had nothing going for them, they could just plug in, play, get paid, and put themselves in a position to walk away from their jobs, bring their spouses home, and just live. And live by the beach, which is what he told me. And, you know, when we joined, Melissa and I were bankrupt. We had no cash. We used the rent money to start. We turned things around very quickly. And then I'm eternally grateful because I had this little baggage in the back of my head, and I was ashamed to tell the world. But Melissa and I actually made about $75,000, and we got into a leadership mastermind. And this man, David Wood, said, "You guys got to share your story. You got to tell everybody." And I was ashamed that we totally messed up financially. But I'll tell you what, when we did that, our business exploded, because then we were 100% authentic with ourselves. And that was the best lesson I learned from this gentleman, who is the most authentic human being on the planet right now that I know, and somebody who speaks with, you know, as far as when you're looking for a company and people to work with, you go by their actions. And this is a guy who, with his actions, if you really study the history of where we've been over the last 4 years, there's nobody I'd rather align with as far as the actions, and knowing that when I come here to work, then my team is in good hands. We are in good hands, and man, we're just having a blast here. So, without further ado, my mentor, my sponsor, Mr. David Wood, come on out here, my friend. I think you are on mute, or I'm on mute.
No, I'm on mute.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Welcome, my friend.
I remember that story actually when I met you, and you know, that's a really common thing where people are, you know, they're ashamed of their story, or they think that if they tell it, it's going to scare people off, and usually the opposite is true. I think that there's like a line where if you're going through something currently, maybe you shouldn't tell people. Not because you want to deceive them. It's not like you should tell them something that's a lie, but if you're going through it right then you might want to save it until you're out of it to tell it, all right? But then once you're out of it, it's like you take on a certain kind of an energy and a certain kind of a power from from just sharing and being open and honest, you know, because what you go out of, you can lead other people out of, and what you've been through, you can lead other people through. And partly that makes it so the more crap you go through, the better of a mentor you are, you know. There's a value in, hold on, my cat's going crazy here. Just hold on a second.
I love it.
All right, so I'm gonna shut my door. My cat's gonna leave me out. I rescued this cat off of the roof. He'll probably still make tons of noise, but I won't be able to hear it with the door shut. So, you know, it's like you get out of something and then you can lead other people through that thing. And that's powerful. And I know there's a lot of people on this hangout right now who are struggling financially. Whether it's a big struggle or a small struggle, or whether you're just struggling to manage your finances. And so learning that you're here with a group of people that have been where you are, just knowing that is powerful, because maybe it can help you see that you can do anything I can do. And I really believe that. I really believe you can do anything I can do. I really believe that Kevin could do anything I could do. You know, that all of them can. Erica, Jamie, because I'm not fundamentally better than anyone. I might be better at certain things at the moment, but you're better at different things than me. And so we all balance the world together, and that's the beautiful thing. You know, I remember when I got started, I was broke, living in a van, like negative in your bank account. You know, and I don't know if you guys have ever been there where like your bank account is negative. Like you literally, it's not like you have a small amount of money in there. It's like you have none, a negative, plus bank fines with no income. That's not a fun place to be. And usually adults at one point in their life have experienced something like that, whether it's you've never learned to balance a checkbook, so you accidentally write a bad check, and then you got to find up with money, and then you're negative in your bank account, and then the bank shuts off your credit cards, something like that. Well, that's where I was in 2009, you know, because I just ran out of money. And I got fired from a job, and I was living in a van. You know what I mean? So I got fired out of my job when I was living in a van. And so when you're at a place like that, you know, at first I was just like, you know, and I wasn't really that stressed. And then I got a ticket for the last money that I had in my bank account for sleeping in my van, because it's illegal to sleep in your car at night in Hawaii. It's an anti-homeless law, right? Because they don't want people literally in the streets, because people will go there and just live on the streets and kind of crap the streets there, right? And so anyway, so I get a ticket, and that was like the last remaining money I had, and actually put me in the negative if I had paid that thing, right? So I was looking at that and thinking about that, and then I just got to this low point, and I knew something had to change, and that led me into a decision to do something different, and to not just do something different, but put all my heart into it, and to put all my soul into it, and put the right energy into it, and to just focus on the work. You know, I think too often people focus on the secret and don't focus on the work. You know what I mean? It's like you get in this space and it's like, what am I doing wrong, right? And you spend all day wondering about it, right? Like wondering what you're doing wrong, or wondering what you don't know yet. And if you took all that wondering energy and worked with it, it'd solve the problem. You know what I mean? Because there's only like you know, so many things to do here. You know what I mean? It's not really that many things that you got to get good at, right? There's only a few. One of them would be generating traffic somehow. One of them would be getting leads somehow, which we have capture pages that convert well. So if you can generate traffic, you actually don't even know how to do that. You don't need to know how, right? So you really need to know how to get good traffic, right? That's number one. Quality, highly targeted traffic, that'll help, right? And then working with your list in a way that produces more sales will help, and which is actually pretty easy to learn. And then learning how to work with your customers to get them to buy more stuff would help. And that's pretty much it if you're new. And I mean, that's not very many things. It's not like you have to memorize, you know, 8 million parts of a body like doctors have to do before they can diagnose anything. So they have to learn body parts, right? And then they got to learn how they work, and then they got to learn how to diagnose stuff, and they got to learn about all these medicines, you know what I mean? That's hard, right? This is not very hard. And so, you know, I started talking about this back in 2009. It's like, we tell people to get 2 people a day, right? And it's not like it's not like that's a normal thing to do. It's not like everybody's going to get 2 people a day, but we tell people to do that, right? And to learn how to do it over time. If you aren't hitting it, then it's fine. You can learn to adjust things, and over the next couple of years, you can learn to hit it if you're not hitting it right now. And you're like, 2 people a day, that's a lot. And it's like, well, no, not really. It's not like you have to hit that to make $10,000 a month or anything. It's just a good model to grow fast, right? So we tell people to do that, and they get all hung up because they've never done it, or because they've always struggled to sponsor 2 people a month, right? And they're like, 2 people a month is my norm. How do I get to 2 a day, right? Well, it's really simple, because in 2006, I met a guy named Tom. And Tom was sponsoring 2 people a day. And I was like, what? I was like, how? And I was like, you must be on the phone all day. But he was just doing things differently, right? Differently. And differently than what I was doing. So he's actually only on the phone for an hour at the time. And that's more than I'm on the phone now. And he was just doing things differently. And it kind of broke my model a little bit to meet somebody like that, And so I get started trying to do it, and of course I can't figure it out. And then in 2009, I did figure it out in an online business. And I started sponsoring 2 people a day. And it was 90 days from the time I did that for me to hit $30,000 a month. Just 90 days. That is not a lot of time, right? So I think about it like this. It's like 2 people a day. It's like, well, that's a lot. Is it really? Compared to what? If you go to a doctor, go ask a doctor. Just, if they'll tell you how much they make, which they probably won't, because they'll be embarrassed, right? Most of the time, because most doctors make under $100,000 a year net, right? Not gross, which is like, not how much are you taking in your practice, right? How much are you keeping, right? $5,000 a month, right? For 18 hours a day work. But if you ask them how many customers they see, I promise it is more than 2 people a day, right? That is not very many people to get into anything. It's just not. And if you don't hit 2 a day, I'll still help you hit 10 grand a month. That's model built quickly, right? So we start talking about this, and it's like, at first it breaks your paradigms. And all Tom told me was this. He says, well, have you gotten 2 a month before? And I was like, yeah, I've gotten 2 a month before. I can get 2 to 4 a month. And he says, well, if you could do that, you could do 2 a week. You should need to learn to do it. And I said, oh, really? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, if you could do that, you could do 2 a day, 2 to 4 a day. You just got to learn how to change your stuff. And that's all he said. He didn't actually explain how he was doing it. So I just started thinking, no, if I could get 2 to 4 a month, I could get 2 to 4 a week. And if I could get 2 to 4 a week, I could get 2 to 4 a day. Yeah, that's possible. That makes sense. I don't know why that made sense to me. It didn't actually make sense, right? But it did make sense to me. And so I just started trying it. Then in 2009, I figured it out when I get into business on the internet. And then it's 90 days later, 2 people a day, making $30,000 a month, just like he said. And I was like, wow, that worked. That was fascinating how well that worked. You know what I mean? So you got to learn how to get highly targeted traffic, and then you got to learn how to work your list better, and then you got to learn how to work with your team members better. And that's all you need to know how to do, right? To start making money, start actually making quite a lot of money. And if you compare the amount of money that you'll make doing that here compared to with how much money you'll make doing other things, it's way more here, right? Way more. And we've proven that over a long period of time. There's nobody actually on the internet that's created as many millionaires as we have. Nobody. There's nobody that's created as many people making $100,000 as we have. I was looking at a big system, right, that a few people are selling. And I looked on the page, it's like since 2006 or something, I think 2008, maybe, 2008, 2006, we've paid $9 million in commissions. You know what I mean? I'm like, since 2006, we do that every 3 or 4 months. You know what I mean? Like we've gone through months where we've done almost that. In the past, it's ridiculous. So nobody's created as many people as we have that make big money. And people here really, really, really do well if they're focused on the right things. But sometimes we're not focused on the right things, and sometimes our energy is wrong, right? And that's when we need somebody to come along who knows what they're doing and listen. Because we all go through phases of listening and not listening. Women are usually better at listening than men. But some men are better at it than others. I'm not very good at listening most of the time, right? But I've learned over the years who to listen to, right? Who to listen to and who to take advice from. And who to be connected with. And so this Generation Hero event that these guys are talking about, yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys, if you don't buy your tickets, you're not serious about your future. Plain and simple, right? You're not serious about doing this, right? Go study something else. If you're not going to spend $197 before the price increases, you're just not serious, right? And you say, well, I don't have $197. Bullshit. Yes, you do. Just buy the tickets, right? We pack people and we get people to our events, and people like they come and they fly across the world. They pay for a ticket. They pay for a hotel. They pay for food, right, in hotels, and that might cost them $1,500, $2,000 if they're budgeting well, right? And if they're not budgeting well, maybe they blow more money than that, right? And people do that every 3 months all the time. So when we're saying buy a ticket for $197 and sit in your home and watch it in a weekend, and make sure you're not working or doing anything distracting that weekend, so you can pay attention to everything and take notes on everything, then if you're not willing to do that, quit. Seriously, just quit, because you're not going to succeed. And that's just the way that it is. And I'm not mad at you. It's fine. You're welcome to quit anytime you choose, and just acknowledge that you're not willing to do what it takes. You know what I mean? But don't feel bad about it. Don't make up excuses for it. Just throw in the towel. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to do that, if you want to get results, you got to listen. Okay? And one of the things that is really important to building an organization is making sure that you actually go to all the events. It's super important. And I'm not saying that because I make money from it. Actually, the events are usually financial drain just a little bit, right? So the reason we do them is actually not to make money as a company. The reason we do them is because it creates momentum, and it teaches people how to do things that we can't teach in any kind of environment, right? We have to do events to grow the culture of an organization. I've seen every company that's ever tried to grow teams without doing events quarterly falls apart, 100% of them. Right? They can't keep the team together because people need to meet together at least every 90 days. And so that's why we do the events, and we do them for very specific reasons. And this is a special event. And if you don't go, you're just not serious. And you should buy your tickets now, because the price is increasing in less than 2 days. Right? The price is going up. It's going to go from $197 to $297 if you don't buy your tickets now. And you want to buy them, you're going to end up paying more if you wait 2 days. And I would buy them right now and start selling them immediately to recoup, because we're paying a 50% commission on the event tickets. And that's a direct to you 50% commission. Plus, if you sell 5 tickets, every 5 tickets you sell, we give you a $100 bonus. Okay. Now, when the price goes up, January 7th, we're actually paying a 70% direct commission on those tickets. And then every 5 tickets you sell, we're giving you a $100 bonus. Okay. So that starts January 7th. If you don't buy your tickets now, you're going to have to pay more. You know what I mean? And if you want to give us more commissions, I'm actually happy with that. If you just say, I love you so much, I want to give you a higher commission and more money, so I'm going to wait to buy my tickets 2 days. Perfect, right? I'm thankful for you. But probably like most people in the world, you actually like to save money and get the same value. So let me talk about this event and what it actually is. And just from a heart-to-heart perspective, and I'm not looking for everybody to go, to be honest with you. I don't think everybody should attend. I don't think everybody should watch this event. Because if you don't want to do this, you know what I mean? If you don't want to make more money, well, I don't know, first of all, why you're on this hangout, right? You could go drink beer or something. I know it's just starting early in the afternoon, but might as well get started. Or you could go get a side job at Walmart, Safeway, you know what I mean? Go sell green peas on street corners. I did that for a while. Deliver pizzas. That's actually like a pretty easy thing to do if you've got a car or motorcycle. Just don't, try not to work in any dangerous parts of town. There's lots of things you can do for, $1,000 a month. So I'm talking to people that actually want to do this, right? That want to make money, that want to do it in the right way, right? And so if that's you, then absolutely, it's foolish to not buy your ticket. Because let me explain what this is. Okay, 2011, I do an event out in my house called the Costa Rica Mastermind Intensive. We later turned that into a video product that we sold $30 million, $40 million of something like that. I actually don't know exactly because I haven't checked in a long time. We sold $30 or $40 million in this thing, and paid that out in commissions, the majority of it, right? And so when I invited those people down to my house, there was a handful of people that came that were making a few $1,000s a month. Lawrence Tam, Ola and Shola, a guy named Dave. Let me check something here real quick. Somebody's got to come to my house and talk to me. I don't know if they're here. No. Okay. So guy named Dave and Lawrence Tam, Chris Rushlow, Ola and Shola, and they stayed at my house. Okay. Since that time, I've made $6 million. Dave made close to $3. Tam, he's made close to $2. Ola and Shola made a few hundred thousand in their own business, and then who else? Chris Russell, he's made probably $500,000 since then. So everyone that stayed at my house turned into a 6 or multiple 7-figure earner, right? Everyone. Now, why is that? Well, I pushed them all in waterfalls. No, I'm just joking. The reason is really simple. It's because they got it. You know what I mean? They got it. And this is actually pretty simple to do. So anytime you could get around where you can really intimately connect with people that are really doing big things, you should do it when it's in your industry and it's helping you to move on, right? Rubbing shoulders with people that are doing things you don't know how to do yet, right? Talking in ways you don't know how to talk yet. Communicating in ways you don't know how to communicate yet. And so I did that in 2011, right? And who are we inviting to this this retreat live? It's really kind of more of a retreat, right? Boss Maker Silvers and above, that's it. You can't actually pay for a ticket, right? So you actually can't go live if you don't earn your way in. And for the people that earn their way in, they don't have to pay. We're paying for it, okay? So it's they have to pay their own tickets. They have to pay, for their plane ticket, for the hotels, stuff like that. But the actual event itself is free, and we're renting a 5-figure night mansion specifically for people who are making $5,000 to $150,000 a month in the company. So what are we doing here? Well, I was talking about this on Monday's call, and this is when you talk about mentorship, there's a lot of really important things with how to coach people, how to mentor people, how to really help people get results, right? And the best metaphor I've got is like we're adjusting the rudder on a ship, okay? And if the ship is not moving, right, adjusting the rudder does not change its direction. Most people never think about that, right? Some people are like, give me the secrets, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm not doing anything, right? Well, the secret is to start then for that person, right? And then I can adjust that later once you start. You're like, start what? Start anything. Do something that isn't going to get results if you need to do that to start. Go post things on Facebook. Go write blog posts, right? And do it incorrectly to start. It's fine. Just get started, right? Get over the ego. Get over the nervousness. Get over the bad attitude and just start, right? Just get started, right? Just get moving in the ocean. Well, once you get moving, it's really easy to just take the rudder to just adjust it and change your whole direction, right? So when you get people in a room who are making money but they're not making tons, or they want to move on, it's really easy to take that person and say, don't do it this way, do it that way, right? Change this thing that you're doing. Change the way that you're dealing with people, right? Change the way that you're doing your hangouts. Change the way that you're speaking, right? Make new decisions about this here. You got a little bit of an attitude problem over there. You need to adjust that, right? And little tiny adjustments make big course corrections. And so, if you take a cruise ship and you set it off from the ocean, right? An adjustment like this much in a rudder can make a difference from going to South Africa to England, right? It's that big of a difference making small adjustments. And so when Justin Berenti came down to my house 2012, and he almost drowned, and I grabbed him out of that waterfall, and I taught him a bunch of stuff when he was down there. I didn't really teach him anything earth-shattering, right? There was nothing really shattering of the world that I taught him, right? And you're like, how did you make that big of a difference? Well, he's getting on to $1.6, $1.7 million now, okay? He's made a lot of money, right? Justin Berenti, and it all came from that weekend experience. And the reason is because he was making $5,000 or $6,000 a month. So I just said, hey, dude, change this stuff. And he just changed it. And it changed the way his results were producing. It changed his beliefs. It changed his results. So we're going to be taking people that are making the money that you want and showing them how to make more, right? And in the process, you'll learn what you need to do to make that amount, to be at the next generation hero event, lock, right? Qualify to actually go, to actually be able to replace your income and be able to leave your job and do things like that. How do you learn how to make $5,000 a month? You've got to listen to the people who are doing it, right? You can't do it by listening to people that are not doing it. And I see this all the time. It's like, I got this little pet peeve on people selling coaching and stuff like that who aren't doing what they're coaching people on and aren't succeeding at it, right? And I just got this pet peeve about it because I see this happening like all the time, right? And it's like, or they're selling products to people to help them to do something that they're not even doing. and therefore they can't teach, right? And therefore they have no real authority to teach, right? It's like, you know, this is a good filter, right? You're like, okay, I want to make 10,000 a month. It's like, okay, who are you listening to? Well, I'm getting coaching from this guy. Okay, is he making $10,000 a month doing what he's telling you to do? No, he's making $10,000 a month coaching. So he's making $10,000 a month coaching people how to make $10,000 a month doing something else. Okay, I take martial arts. Let me teach you basketball. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm really good on the internet. Tomorrow I'm doing a seminar on brain surgery. You know what I mean? It's like someone that's never been on a date in their life giving a relationship seminar. You know, you gotta like learn how to filter a little bit who you're listening to. You know, I got a little pet peeve about it. I don't know if you can see a little anger in my heart about people wasting money on coaching from people that aren't doing what they're doing but are really good at selling coaching, right? And so if you want to learn how to make $5 grand a month, who should you listen to? People doing it, right? If you want to learn how to make $100,000 a month, give me, yeah. Sí, abro la puerta. Okay, déjalo, es como 10 o 15 minutos más. Gracias. So that's bad American sounding Spanish, in case you didn't pick that up. So in any case, with a really American, it's like, hola, soy americano, you know. All right, so you know, people have got this thing where it's like they're confused, right? What do I do? Well, okay, I'm gonna go buy all these courses and systems. It's like, okay, you know, I want to get rich on the internet, so I'm going to buy a $200 a month cable TV program, you know. I want to get good at martial arts, so I'm going to go study knitting. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's not the way, right? So I want to actually help you create results, right? Do you have a Hangout page for this, Kevin? Like, I want to look at the page we're on here real quick.
Yeah, I'll type that into the chat here.
Huh?
It's over in the chat there in our chat.
Okay, cool. So if you're on here, right, and you're in Kevin's team, and you're paying attention to this, you just need to make a decision to go. Secure your live stream tickets, right? Because, you know, I'm going to do some things actually, you know, for people that have got tickets coming up, and also just, I was thinking about this for the last maybe 2 months. I've been thinking about, what do people really need to move on? Right? What do people really need to get to the next level? What decisions does our team need to make, right, in order to create the breakthrough that they need to create to really create their dreams and their outcomes? And there's a whole bunch of little things that people need to understand, right? There's some things that people really need to get that we've taught before that they don't really understand. And there's some things that you need to do differently. There's some attitude changes that you need to have if you want to make, look, if I was not owner of this company, it would take me less than 6 months to make $100,000 a month with no list, right? With no money. That's how long it would take. And it's not because it's like I'm the most, you know, like I'm the most skilled at everything in the world, but I know how to do this, right? I'm really good at this. And you can listen to people that know how to do this. It would take me literally 6 months from zero. That's how long it would take. It wouldn't take any more, right? And I'd make $100,000 a month doing almost nothing. 3-4 hours work a day, right? I'd go through about 90 days of probably 18 hours a day. And then I'd go through about 90 days of 3 or 4 hours a day. That's it, right? And when you get that, it doesn't take forever to do this. See our income disclosure. I'm not talking about what you'd necessarily do. I'm just talking about how long it would take me from nothing, right? And this kind of a business is actually quite simple to build. There's a lot of little entropys to it, and there's a lot of things to fix along the way. Right? There's a lot of skills you got to learn. There's a lot of attitude stuff that you need to change sometime. It's actually quite simple to do. And here's what I know with you, right? If you don't know how to do this, because maybe you don't know how to do this, right? Maybe you don't understand the comp plan. It doesn't really matter if you understand it or not, because all you got to understand is how to hit the first level if you're not there, right? So everybody here who's watching this hangout, right? You need to do what I said to do. Buy your tickets. You need to buy your tickets right now. Just pull out your credit card, click the button, get it out of the way, right? Stop being nervous about it. Stop questioning yourself. right? Stop questioning the things that you have to do to get the result that you want, and just do them. You know what I mean? There's things that you have to do, and there's things that you can choose, right? If you want to be a leader in this kind of a business, you must attend every event, and there are no exceptions to it. Okay? So just stop redeciding all the time. Oh, am I going to go? Am I going to go? Am I going to go? If you just plan every 90 days, I will attend an event of some kind, whether it's a live stream, whether it's a big event in person, I'm going to budget for it, and I'm going to go. It's required. And it's not required because it's a job and I can force you to do it. I actually can't make you do it, right? It's required if you want to be a leader. If you don't want to be a leader, it's not required. Just don't do it. You know what I mean? Just don't. It's fine. But if you want to do this and you're like, well, you know, I just want the secret. I'm not going to go to the event. Okay, sorry, you're not going to succeed, right? You're looking for something that isn't there, right? It's like, you know, I study martial arts, and it's like, okay, I understand. I got to learn and master all these little moves, but just show me how to throw a fireball. And I want to throw a fireball for my own, you know, for my hands. Can you show me how to? You know what I mean? It's like there's a saying. I was watching T.D. Jakes the other week, right? One of my favorite preachers, and I like him because he screams and shit. It's awesome. And so, you know, it's like he says, stop trying to walk across water and just help an old lady across the street. You know what I mean? it's like you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I want to make $100,000 a month. It's like, have you gone boss yet? No. Well, I'm looking for somebody to teach me how to go to $100,000 a month. But you don't want to hit the first rank first. You know, I want you to hit $100,000 a month, but let's trace that back. So to make $100,000 a month, you're gonna have to be a diamond with a pretty large, stable organization, which I can show you how to do. Okay, and then to be a diamond, you're gonna have to go platinum first. To go platinum, you're gonna have to hit gold first. To hit gold, you're gonna have to hit boss maker silver first. To do that, you're gonna have to hit boss maker bronze first. To do that, you're gonna have to hit boss maker first, and then you're gonna have to hit boss first. So that goes back to you need to hit boss. You know, and that's the building block. And if you don't do that, then how are you going to do that other thing? So focus on the small thing first. Learn how to master that, right? And be okay with that, right? Because if you can do that every month the next year, if you're at 0 and you don't know nothing, and you can just hit boss every month, but consistently and with good quality people you're bringing in, and learn how to get higher quality people. And I don't mean that some people aren't quality, but some people aren't very quality. You know what I mean? It's like when they could be if they made different decisions, but it's like they get in and they don't want to buy anything. Well, that's a lower quality team member because they're lower value to the marketplace, right? They don't want to do the things that they have to do. You got to convince them to do everything, right? That's difficult, right? So learn how to bring in high quality people. I could show you over a year how to $10,000 a month with nothing but that, right? See our income disclosure, right? And so this is actually quite simple to do, but you've got to be willing to do the little things. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to make the right decisions. You got to be willing to buy your event tickets and the price is increasing. And you got to be willing to sit there and watch the live stream and actually see what we're teaching. You got to be willing to pay attention, even though we might teach things that you don't want to learn. You're like, I don't want to learn that. I want to learn this other thing. It's like, okay, do you want to hit the next level or not? Right? Stop having an ego about stuff you don't understand. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm going to do it my way. Have you ever done this? No. Okay. You know, it's equally ridiculous for me to do brain surgery as it is for a brain surgeon to pretend they know how to do this. You know what I mean? And it's not because either one is better. They're just different professions, right? So I can teach you how to do this. I can teach you how to have a great life doing this. I could teach you how to create magic doing this. I could teach you how to have financial breakthroughs doing this. And if you go and you watch that live stream broadcast, you will have a breakthrough. Buy your tickets right now. Just buy your tickets, right? And then go out and get 5 people before the broadcast and get them all to watch with you. How do you make a bigger breakthrough than the one that you have yourself? You get the team to have a breakthrough with you, right? Have them watch it with you and then get on a hangout every night and discuss it. Discuss what you learn. Make strategies based on what you learn, right? Don't just watch the live stream. Watch the live stream and meet with your team, right? Discuss it. Say, let's make a game plan. We're going to do this and this and this and this. We're going to implement this and this and this and this. You see what that boss maker was doing. Let's do that, right? Guys, this is simple to do. I will outline at that event a model on how to get to diamond from 0, right? I'll show you how to do that in any business, you know. But hopefully you're actually smart. And if you are, you're building here because it's better. It actually is. It actually is better. Not everybody understands why it's better, but I do. And I know the results people get. There's a big differential between what they get with the size of teams they have and what they get in other things that they do. If you want to get massive results, it starts with taking massive action. And if you want to take massive action, it has to start with a humble attitude, being willing to do the things you need to do. So what's your goal this year? I want to help you get to the top. That's what I want you to do. So buy your tickets right now to Generation Hero. Pull out your credit card, click the button and buy. Just do it. And I'm looking forward to helping me blessing your life. So again, I don't really have a lot more to say. I actually got to run upstairs. I got somebody here I need to talk to. Oh, the Latinos of Empower Network are here. Oh, so some people understood my bad Spanish. Oh, awesome, awesome. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I don't want to talk in Spanish. My Spanish. Actually, mi español no es muy mal, pero mi pronunciación necesito trabajo, ¿verdad? Pero estoy feliz que ustedes están allá y vamos a tener el mejor año en nuestras vidas. Porque aquí sus sueños están importantes. Y si escuchan y trabajan con nosotros, vamos a tener éxito juntos. Juntos. Porque juntos está mejor, es mejor. Juntos es mejor. Y ustedes tienen un líder muy bueno. Yo puedo ver los corazones de las personas. Y Jamie tiene un corazón para ustedes. Escuchen. Okay, gotta go.
Thank you very much.
Not so bad, right?
That was perfect. Gracias.
All right. Talk to you guys soon. I'll leave this on in case you happen to still be here when I'm finished, and then I'll come back. But if you're not here when I come back and you need to end, it's fine. Just everybody buy your tickets. I got a sales video going up that's going on the Generation Hero page here in the next day or two that'll talk a little bit more about it. But I got to go upstairs.
Cool. Thank you very much, Dave.
All right, bye-bye.
Appreciate you being here, my friend. Awesome. Well, there you have it. There you have it. And I actually followed along with most of what he was saying. You guys are awesome.
That was a really cool message. He was like he was saying like we can do it together, and he said you guys have a great leader, and yeah, that was a nice message. Like I didn't expect it.
Very nice. Hey, one thing I'll let you guys know watching the broadcast here is that not only will we be live at the end of the month, but we're going to get access to all the recordings as well, so we can go back and find our favorite modules and go through them and take notes and take action, learn, do, teach. Man, I love what Wood said earlier about, there are a lot of coaches out there like, hey, buy my coaching, and they make money by coaching, not by helping you build a business. There's three parts of that: learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. Write that down. Learn, do, teach. That's what Erica does. I know Erica does that. Jamie, I know you and Wade do that. Learn, do, teach. Got to do all three. What else did you guys want to share about the broadcast today?
Yeah, we love it. It was a nice broadcast. I just want to say to the whole Latino community, guys, don't miss out on this. There is a link below. Please take action. Like David would say, if you go to an event, you're going to spend a lot of money in food, traveling, tickets, hotel, probably renting a car, getting a couple of beers, and right now, you're only going to get it for $197, okay? It's going to last for like 2 days, and I encourage you to take action. I know many of you understand what I'm saying because many of you speak English, so take action. If you want to have more results this year, get the tickets, okay? Watch this live event, Generation Hero. You're gonna learn a lot. It's gonna be an intimate event with a lot of big masters on this field, on this business, on this industry, and you're gonna learn a lot, okay? So that's all I can say. Take action, click the link below, get your tickets, and wait for the event at the end of this month. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. You know what else I'll say? I'll say one last thing, and then I want to hear from Erica. Is Melissa and I were privileged enough back in 2012. We had one of these little masterminds in St. Pete, Florida, that we were invited to. Did this 3 years ago, a little over 3 years and 1 month ago. And when Melissa and I went home from that event, you know, spending a weekend with Dave, with Lawrence, with Tracy, with Chuck, with Chris, with Aaron, all of these leaders who were at that time making more money than us by a lot. And Melissa and I turned it on, and we got right into the game. You know, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month. It became normal for us as a result of surrounding ourselves with the other leaders, and we became leaders at that event. Now, those of you watching the broadcast will have the privilege of being able to see an event like this, and we actually did a live stream from one of the houses we were staying at that event, which turned into our $3,000 product for a while, which was fun. But you know, magic happens at these events. You guys want to get this. I think what's going to happen after this event is that we're probably going to be able to sell this as a product for a lot more money. So if you don't buy it now, you're going to end up paying a lot more money for it later for the same information. It's never going to be cheaper than it is right now, and you'll have full access, probably with the rights to resell it again. And right now, hey, if you're already on the team for $197, you generated 50% commission for your team members when they buy. But the price is going up to $297 Friday morning at 12:01 a.m. So you've got about 24 hours left to do it. So go ahead and do it now. Get on the phone, call your team members, make sure, and get together for the event. You can create a Skype group, Facebook group, and as the broadcast is going on that weekend at the end of January, we can all be connected together. I know my team is going to be connected together, and I can still kind of chit chat away, during the event. Heck, we've done that before. Erica, I remember you were on one of the live streams, and you were chatting with us right before we went up on stage or something like that. Wasn't that fun?
And taking snapshots of you and Tanner, posting them all over Facebook.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for that, by the way. What are your closing thoughts here today?
Well, I just want to share a couple of things, if I may. I'm not going to take up too much time, but I want to kind of finish my story because it's really, really important for people who've maybe never been to one of our events before. Maybe you're brand new on the team. This is your first, time you're being exposed to this experience. And I was sharing before David Wood popped out that I received 2 emails when I was trying to convince myself not to go to my first event. And both of them said that getting to their first event had created this mammoth windfall for them. One guy went on to make, I'm talking like maybe more than $25 million, right? The other guy went on to become a 6-figure earner, all because of what happened at his first event. And I remember reading those 2 emails, and I got really mad, and I got really pissed off at myself because I had, I literally had a big loser sign on my forehead, like, oh, I can build this business from my laptop, I know it, blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't, obviously, because I had no pathetic results at that point. So obviously, I didn't know what I was, doing then. And so I worked up my credit card. I went to the first event, and talking about price, that first event cost me $6,000. By the time I, got all my, travel from New Zealand is not cheap, right? And then you throw in the, hotel on top of that, and you throw all the little extras and anything. I went back home, and it was like $6,000. But here's the funny thing: when I was in Atlanta, I was looking for the secret. And maybe some of you are looking for the secret. And Dave Wood said, some of you got to stop all the wondering, take all the wondering energy and get to work. I went to that event looking for the secret. I'll be honest. I thought there was a secret. I thought there was a secret to building this business. And, as Dave Wood shared, is, the secret is get good at generating leads, get good at generating highly targeted traffic, get good at managing your list, and get good at dealing with the customers. Basically 4 things we have to do here, right? But I didn't believe that. I thought you needed to be special. When I got to Atlanta, I looked at these people up on stage, and they had these ridiculous checks, like ridiculous. And I looked, and I was looking for the answer. And I looked at him, and I looked at her, and I looked at them, and I'm like, God damn it! these people are no more special than I, right? And I got angry, right? Because I've been making all these excuses, like why it wasn't working for me. Well, obviously I had to have this, I had to have had that, and blah, 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 right? But I looked at these people, and they were so normal, and I got so fired up. I got so freaking fired up. I cut another video. And that video went kind of like, well, viral, you know, for me back then. It like had over 1,000 hits on YouTube, which was big for me. And man, things took off. Things really took off. Income disclaimer, go to, you know, blah, 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 blah. 4 months after that event, Alex and I had our first 5-figure month. We did like 11,400 and something. 4 months after getting to our first event, right? I remember we went to our second event, and I saw a guy up on stage, and he said he'd made $21,000, right? And I remember looking at his check, and I'm like, oh, if we could just make that much money, oh my God, right? That propelled us to go on to basically become multiple 6-figure earners in this company. And it's because of everything we saw at events. And there's something I want to finish on before I hand it back to you, Kevin. And this is something that Dave Wood said. He said, we all go through phases of listening and not listening. And I challenge you, if you've been in a phase of not listening for a little while, I challenge you to reconnect. I challenge you to put your ego aside. I challenge you to empty your cup. I challenge you to ask yourself, do you know everything? Do you know everything you need to know to build your business? Because if you don't, you need to get your live stream ticket. And I have a feeling, and Kevin, I was thinking that when he was talking, I mean, I don't know what's going to come out of this, right? But, you know, they had that retreat down in Costa Rica that people paid $5,000 to attend. $5,000 each per person, like not for a couple, per person, right? And we all had to pay like $3,500 for that product. We're now having another retreat, and it's costing like $197. Come on, guys. You know, honestly, I have this feeling that if you're serious about building your business in 2016, you're just going to get your ticket. You're just going to get your ticket. You're not going to be like me and pretend like it's not happening, and you're not going to go, right? They can't make it easier for you. You have no excuse. You have no valid excuses. You can't even say I'm sick. You can't even say I'm in bed. You can't even say, oh, I can't get out of the house, because we're bringing it to you. And you can't even say, well, I'm busy that weekend. No, you can't say that. Why? Because it's going to be recorded. So I challenge you, if you are one of these people who have been in a phase of listening and you are now not listening, I challenge you, empty your cup, put your ego aside, and get your live stream ticket and see what's happening at the event at the end of January. Please do that. Please do that. As long as that's it, I'm out. I'm done. Back to you, my friend.
I think that's a perfect way to put a wrap on it, unless Jaime and Loida want to offer any closing thoughts.
Yeah, I was remember what Erica says, that when you go to events, you just see all the people that saying, oh, I make 30,000 a month, and you were like, oh my God, I wish I could do that in my old job. And now that I'm working with this, I see it's possible. And something really important is they says if you want to have massive results, you have to take massive actions. And this is a massive action. Is someone that is making this happen, is going to give you his ninja tactics. Get the tickets! Get the information, come on! And do something really important that Kevin says is learn, do, and teach. So don't learn to then do and then teach. No, you have to make your results and your group grow faster. So learn, do, and teach. And get your tickets. It's really important. I remember my first event, and it was so powerful. It changed my mind. It changed everything for me. And it is so true. When you have to go to an event, you have to get the plane tickets, the hotel, the food, and the transportation. It's more than $197, and it's worth it. It's really, really worth it. Así que a toda mi comunidad latina le quiero decir que compren los tickets. De verdad que valen la pena. es un evento magnífico. Si tienes una persona que es millonaria y te está diciendo cuál es su secreto para tener éxito, hazle caso, compra el ticket y haz lo que él te está enseñando. Porque si vas a ir a un evento, piensa que tienes que gastar en el avión, en el hotel, en las comidas, en la transportación, en un montón de cosas, mucho más de $197. Realmente esto vale la pena. Realmente vale la pena. Así es que compra los tickets y no pierdas esta gran oportunidad que tienes en tus manos. So, back to you, Kevin, or Jaime, you want to say something?
No. You say everything pretty much. Yeah, so guys, get the tickets, watch the event. All the big minds gonna be there. Like, it's gonna be an awesome event. You're gonna learn a lot. Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't going there, I would buy the ticket. I actually purchased it in the last event. I got my ticket, but if I didn't at that time for any reason, I wouldn't do it right away now because it's a huge change. Like Loida say, like Erika say, the first mastermind and David Woodhouse was like 500. And I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I think I never shared this. Before I got into Empower Network, I was so crazy about this, getting into this business. Like, I sent an inbox message through Messenger to Facebook to David saying, dude, just tell me how can I get to your house and pay whatever you're gonna charge me just to go there, okay? And I'm serious. And
He told me that is true.
yeah.
He said, Loida, I don't care how much it is. I'm going to pay it.
Yeah.
If he's doing this, I'm going to do it. I mean, I don't care how much he told me I need to pay to go to his house. I'm going to do it. I'm going to Costa Rica.
Yeah, because I want to learn like he said, people want to learn the secrets, okay? Maybe there's not like a big secret. It's just steps, tools, platforms, I don't know, masterminding, and everything is going to be there for 3 days in a row, okay? All the masters. So get your tickets and be there watching.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for being on here today. And you know what, we could just stay on here all day, couldn't we? But right now, you guys have made your decision. We can't wait to see you on the live stream. And more importantly, those of you on our teams who've already gotten your ticket, reach out to us and let's mastermind and let's help you build your business. Those on my personal team, I've already put an offer out there to anybody on my personal team that purchases their ticket. You know, Melissa and I will be working with you one-on-one throughout the month to help you to build your team. Now, we only have limited spots because we know not everybody on the team is going to buy their ticket. But by buying your ticket, you're putting your hand in the air and saying, yes, guys, I'm serious. I'm going to be the next top earner. And I'm going to be at the next live event when we have the next live masters event, you know, like with all the leaders, you know, when the leaders get together for a mastermind, how would you like to be at the next one next year or whenever we have the next one? Might be in 6 months, might be a year. Take those steps right now. Get your ticket. We'll see you on the next broadcast. It's Kevin Connect, Erica, Jaime, Loida. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Appreciate you. Get your ticket, and we'll see you on the next broadcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.